Hey everybody, it's Thea and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Garden Goddess Tarot. And today we're doing we're gonna do a tarot roundup video because I can't remember the last time I did one. Whoops. But yeah, I think I'm just very chill, very cozy, very cozy. It's quite cold in here actually, and I turned off the heater. So I'm just bundled. But yes, very cozy tarot chat among other goings on, happenings, what's new, etc, etc. So strap in, it should be a fun time. How are you doing? Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you're well. I hope the crazy holiday season is not sending you off into outer space. This year I'm actually taking it kind of easy and it's been really nice. Usually I go a bit mad, and this year I'm just like, no, it's fine. Everything is okay. And I'm just like repeating that to myself a la a mantra, and it's like, yeah, no, it is fine. Everything is okay. Don't need to go mental. It's wonderful. So I've been really actually kind of enjoying like late November, early December so far. I picked out a Yule log for the first time this year. I hand selected it very specially from our stash of firewood. I picked the best one. It felt right. I was going to drill holes in it myself, but out of respect for my intact dermal layer, skin, I got husband to do it, so I didn't hurt myself. I drilled some holes in it, we've got some candles in it, I used the offcuts from our Christmas tree to decorate the base of it, and I still need to kind of go out and harvest some pine cones and berries and that sort of thing just to like zhuzh it up a little bit, but I'm thinking it's looking spectacular and I can't wait to start lighting it and then eventually hucking it in the fire at the end of the season, so that should be fun. Very excited about that one. I just love it there. It was actually really quite funny. My father-in-law was over and it was before I had like done the preparing, so there was just this log on the kitchen table. And he's like, oh, that's the most unique Christmas decoration I've ever seen. I reminded him that it's not done yet, but yeah, either the fun little anecdote there. So yes, we're well into the swing of the season. The garden is very much put to sleep. I did manage to get all 700 tulip bulbs planted for next year. That was a task that I was putting off and putting off and putting off, and eventually it becomes impossible because the ground freezes and then it's very difficult to plant them, and the tulips need a good like solid cold like incubation period, vernalization, I believe, is that the correct term? Anyway, they gotta be cold and frozen for a long time in order to bloom properly in the spring. That's why the like warm countries that don't get cold enough in the winter have a hard time / can't grow tulips. So anyway, I needed to get them in before the ground froze, and I did. Very proud of myself, because 700 holes is a lot of little holes to dig. Thank goodness I have a drill with a little auger on it, does the trick. But yeah, so the spring is going to be spectacular, and it's like a little something for me to like actively look forward to. So I remember, it's one of those jobs, one of the garden jobs that you do, and you take all day doing it, and you're exhausted, and then at the end it doesn't look like you did anything. Love those days where it's like, great, I am exhausted and it looks the exact same as when I started. But magically, come the spring, they will all shoot out of the ground like little bursts of color, and I'm like super jazzed about it. So that's kind of garden wise what I've been up to. If you want to see what it's looking like, the mandatory garden update is actually a whole video this time, so you can go back and check the previous video, the one right before this one. It's just the seasons changing in the garden. It goes from October to December, and it's so beautiful. Like, I can feel it. Oh, it's so, going back and actually like, because when you're experiencing it slowly over the months, it's like, you can tell it's changed, but you don't realize how stark of a change it is until you go back and you look at the images, at the video, at like just at what it was like. And it's just, oh, it's so beautiful. So anyway, if you're interested at all in seeing what the garden looks like at the moment, go have a look. It's very frosty. That'll be linked, cards, and down below. But otherwise, what is new? Not a whole lot, actually. But I have been like really getting into and really like feeling my practice lately, and it's been excellent. And a lot of that has been doing stuff on my own in secret, not you know, not sharing everything, and that's been been a really powerful practice for me. It's like doing things and literally no one else in the world but me knows what I'm doing or what's going on. So that kind of stuff is just, it's so good. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to share a whole lot of that, but there's a few other peripheral bits that I'm very into letting you know about. So I discovered this most amazing shop. It's a little occult boutique and it's in Toronto, which was like, ooh, yes, that's close to me. Local-ish enough. It is a beautiful occult boutique and it's called Poison Arrow Occult Arts Boutique. Look at this. Is this not to die for? Stunning. Anywho, I immediately put in a giant order because I was like, yes, this is incredible. Specifically because they had the most beautiful ritual oils I have ever seen. Just from like the products themselves as well as the composition of them and their theme and intention. I'm like, this is legit. This woman knows exactly what she's doing. So I purchased a bunch of ritual oils that I will share with you. The one that got my attention first and foremost is this one. This delightful oil is a Theia oil. This is specifically formulated to aid in divination, which is my numero uno practice, I probably would say. So they smell, and like when I got the box, I opened the box, I'm like, yeah, this feels incredible. They smell exactly as I would expect them to based on their ingredients, but also there's like a little extra, so I don't know how she did it. I have no idea how she did it, but they feel of the place that I want them to. I'll explain more in a second when I get to the other ones, but this divination oil, it like somehow in the oral factory experience of this puts me in the place that I need to be in order to access the part of me that feels embodied in a divinatory practice, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It smells exactly right. It smells familiar. It smells so familiar for some strange reason. I don't know why, but this is incredible. Anyway, so that's the divination oil. The other one is this beautiful Venus oil. So this is one that you're going to use with any, well, you can use them for whatever you want, obviously, right? Ritual oils. You anoint whatever the heck you want to anoint with them. But this specifically in like love workings or commitment stuff, anything that you would want to use a love oil for. This one, let me just shove my nose in it for you. Yeah, this one, oh. It's funny because like, ooh, it's a love oil, but it definitely smells to me, it smells more like unconditional love than romance. This smells more like, and it could just be like the heavy rose that's in it. And we all know like rose is ubiquitous, ideal for that kind of stuff. But for, can smells feel like a feeling? But it does, it smells like unconditional love. It smells like comfort and reassurance and knowing that, you know, that is not admiration, but that unconditional adoration and respect is there. And that's what this smells like. Anyway, a fantastic oil to use if you've got a Venus or Aphrodite altar. Perfect. This one features Birth of Venus by Botticelli. This is a waterhouse painting of Theia from the Oracle at Delphi. Stunning, and you can see the bits floating in them as well. Like you can see like there's jasmine, the rose petals, lavender in this one. There's a bunch of other stuff. And it comes with a list of everything that's in it and what to use it for. It's so well thought out, so good. And then, sorry, the last one in that first bundle was the this Creatrix oil, which actually has the another Botticelli on it. And actually, you'll see my boy features in this one. Is this Primavera by Botticelli? Anywho, it's got the Graces, Hermes, Flora, and is Demeter there? Anyway, there's a whole slew of deities on this one. So good. Anyway, okay, so this one is, specifically for me, yeah. Oh, so good. Very floral. you get the floral hints with this one. But it's about, this was like for, one would say, I guess, manifestation oil, creativity oil, anything that you want to bring into being. If you want to, you know, delve into the depths of your subconscious to pull something out and turn it into a work of art, or some tangible thing that you can experience in this life, then this is the oil for you, and it's delightful. So that was the first trio that I picked up, as well as she had some flying ointments that she makes, which color me curious. So I picked up 2. Full disclosure, I haven't used them yet. So I've been more into the oils right now and anointing the heck out of myself and things with them because I find them fantastic. The flying ointment, I just haven't taken the time because I want to make this, you know, I want it to be extremely intentional when I use them. They come in this adorable little box. They come with an instruction sheet as well. This one is the Verdant Path flying ointment, and they all have a different ingredient composition with using various baneful herbs. Topical use only. Like I said, they come with instructions on how to use them. Beautiful design. This is the Verdant Path flying ointment. And basically you take a small amount, you rub it onto your skin, certain pressure points, wrists, etc. And then generally it's used for meditation and astral travel and that sort of thing. This one specifically was formulated with botany in mind. Specifically, I probably used this before I went out to do some like laborious work in the garden, which sounds odd, but I definitely use mundane garden work as a form of meditation, so I feel like this will just help in that way. So to get into the zone, to connect with the plants, to really immerse myself in the garden experience. So this flying ointment I was going to definitely use with that, as well as specifically journeying with plants, with plant spirits, and doing plant spirit work. So fun. I will report back when I use this and its companion and let you know, but yes, very curious and looking for those kind of specific experiences going into next year. Anywho, so after that ginormous order from Apothecary, because I have a problem. Anyway, couldn't stay away. I got a couple more, and she also, I sent her a message. I subtly suggesting perhaps a Hermes oil might be in order, and she made one. So there's a Hermes oil available now. It's currently hunkering down on my Hermes altar, which is incredible. And like, she knows her stuff. It's perfect. The ingredients, the formulation, the way it smells. I don't know how she did it, but I cracked it open and it smells like Greece. It smells like Athens. I don't know how she did it. You did it. You did it. It's so perfect. It's so perfect. I am like so happy and just generally honored to be in its presence. So very wonderful. I also picked up another harvest ritual oil and a protection one. So the harvest oil I'm actually going to use to oil my garden snips, my garden tools. Hey, why not, right? It's an oil. It does an oil's job, so I'm going to, my pruners will get oiled with the harvest oil, and then the protection one is just, we'll use for any workings that require a little extra oomph of boundaries, which is fun. And then last but not least, I thought I would give like this wonderful magical thing a try. I couldn't stay away. It just spoke to me in such a cool way. This is a set of beads, intention beads. One may call it a mala. Specifically though, it's a non-denominational. It's not associated with any tradition or religion, etc, etc, but it is a beautiful string of black glass beads. There's little adornments of gold throughout it, but specifically what sold me is this beautiful pendant, which is hand painted, and oops, where is she? It's both sides, a little wooden pendant, and it's a snake. So this is very Anake vibes to me. This is particularly, I chose this to do work around anything I do with like Lilith, Anake, necessity, or just the the catalyst for action and being, and that which gives life purpose. So anyway, that's what this video is going to be for. Stunning. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. It just feels so good. So it has not been consecrated just yet. As I said, it is brand spanking new, just came. So consider this the last time you'll get to see it. But absolutely stunning. Check out, I'll link her Etsy page down below. She's got a bunch of other stuff, bath salts. Sorry, that was just a big bunch of ice falling off my roof. It makes so much noise. Whew. Anyway, yes, bath salts, other kinds of oils, the flying ointments, like I said, and yeah, so check it out. She's incredible, and she's in Toronto, so if you're in Canada, you get to get it quickly and without customs, which is fun. Anywho, yes, so that is Poison Arrow Apothecary Arts Boutique, Occult Arts Boutique. Check her out. She's a gem. Beautiful, beautiful all around. Am chuffed with the whole experience. Anyway, that was like 20 minutes of me yammering on about ritual tools. So before my feet totally fall asleep, let's talk about what should we talk about? Oh, also, in working with plant spirits as well, something I'm definitely going to spend a bit more time doing next year. I did pick up some flower essences as practice, so I'm gonna use them throughout the winter because I did not get on it this spring and all my plants are asleep. So I'll start making my own essences next spring, but until then I picked up some from Persephone's Path, some Hellebore, Monk's Hood, Yew, Elder, and Crocus, and it's going to be the perfect lineup to get me through the winter until I can start making my own essences in the spring. I'm so excited. I want some Snowdrop essence really badly. I want some Rose essence really badly. What else was I thinking specifically? Lavender essence I would like to make. And there's a few others high on my list, but I'm going to be creating my own flower essences from my own flowers in my own garden, and just the relationship I have with these plants that I've been looking after for years. So I'm very excited to spend some time with them and do that. So maybe we'll talk about flower essences in another video because I've been on too long, but just yeah, keep your eyes and ears peeled for that in future. Still doing the deck and walk. It's been going great. We are on the 3rd decan of Sagittarius right now. Lord of Oppression, which is Brain, Saturn, which is the World card, and Saturn in Sagittarius. Sagittarius being the Temperance card. So very fun. Having a great time. My own personal apothecary is looking great. I got a new bookshelf in here, sorted it out. All my herbs, cute little jars. Looks great. Also is practical and useful, which is ultimately what we want, right? Anywho, oh, I've also been reading a couple of books. Rust of Nail, Book of Thorn, homewarding book. Very interesting, very cool. I've been like, not too often I write in books and take notes in them. This is one of them that I've been doing that for, and it's pretty incredible. I am definitely picking up some very valuable tips in general from that book, which is fun. And I like how it's not like a specific instructional. It's like, you can do this if you want, you can do this if, it's not like you have to. You don't have to do anything. It's basically just giving you options to work with, basically like little ingredients to add, and then you make the recipe, you know? Genius. Love it. So anyway, been enjoying that one. By Alethea there. I also picked up a Sasha Graham book on tarot, which I'm not sure why. It's definitely usually not my cup of tea, but I think I read the intro and I was like, actually her experience sounds, I like how she writes, so I'm giving it a try. I'm a little ways through it right now. It's okay. I'm also tucking into Camellia Elias's Read Like the Devil, which I'm very excited about. This is for our Marseille study next year, so I'm going to be focusing on reading Marseille next year. There's a group of us doing a Marseille study, so that's what the focus of next year is going to be, so I'm prepping with that one. But again, no rush, because waiting till next year to get into that bad boy. And then other general doings, I did finish finally decorating that bloody spare room behind me. So I'll give you a quick little tour of it right now. It is great. Oh, so much better in there. I just feel like it feels like a room I want to be in now, you know? I went to town at the thrift store, cleared out all of their wicked frames, I printed a bunch of beautiful art prints off from an art prints seller, and just got them printed myself at the size I needed to fit in the frames. Looks so good in there. I am obsessed with the pears. They're my favorite, I think. I don't know why, but just pears, man. There's nothing more exotic than growing your own pears. They're just so good. But yeah, I got a beautiful old oak library table in there as the desk. It's great. An amazing view of the garden. It's just so much better than like the dingy, scary dark room that it was before. So makes the floors pop. It's not overloaded with furniture. Cozy bed. It's great. So that's the goings on around me right now. That's kind of what's new in the stuff and things, which is great. We had another psychic fair at the shop, which was so much fun. There was like 30 people that came out that day. So good. Incredible. So yeah, it was a really fun time. Yeah, I'm really getting in my groove for reading for the public. I really like doing it, and it's just I've got to the point where I'm not nervous anymore. I'm just comfortable, which is ultimately where I wanted to be with that. So it's just great. I've come to a place where I trust the cards. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to reading tarot and learning tarot in general. And a pro tip from your Auntie Theia. You just gotta trust that the cards that come up are what you're supposed to see right there, and the message is in there, and you just gotta dig it out. So I think the reason a lot of the decks that I don't get on with, it's because I don't trust the cards. And if I don't trust those cards for one reason or other, I'm gonna have trouble. So there you go, pro tip. Trust your tarot deck. Speaking of tarot decks, some of the ones I trust are, this is the tarot portion of the tarot roundup. Thank goodness we finally got here after however long it's been. Yeah, I don't actually have that many specific tarot decks to really go on about because I've been keeping it pretty narrow in when it comes to the ones I'm using specifically. So yeah, to no one's shock and surprise, the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot I cannot put down. It's so great. It's just refreshing. I think I was in a place where I was getting a bunch of and working with a bunch of decks that had new systems that I needed to learn, and that gets kind of overwhelming. But then when you go back to something like this, you still get the warm fuzzies of it being a relatively new deck to you, but also I can read it out of the box so well. And it's not just like, oh, I can read it. I can read it really well out of the box. And it feels like something I've always had. So it's a delight. And I don't expect anything from it other than tarot, which is nice. It's like stripped down. There's not another layer of mythology I need to work my way through. There's not another layer of like plant herbalism I have to work my way through. There isn't a weird layer of, you know, some of these other things added to other decks really enhance them and make them a great tool, but sometimes you just want a tarot deck. Like, I don't want to think too hard. I don't want to like sit too hard and sift through all these layers of information. I just want the tarot to tell me the messages, and this is a great deck for that kind of work. So it's stripped down, it's still beautiful, but it's tarot. And gosh, do I love a stripped down tarot, which I think is another reason why I'm really excited about working with Marseille system for a good chunk of next year. Just because what it does is it strips it down. It gets rid of all of the bells and whistles, the flourishes, and it's just like, boom, 8 wands on a card. What you gonna do about it, you know? So yeah, and I'm pumped. I'm very excited about that, just to really deepen my work with tarot in that regard. I love how different tarot decks can be. Like, they're all still tarot. They're all still 78 cards, bottom line. Like, end of the day, it's still a tarot deck. You can read it how you would. But to just be able to have such a variety of different types of tarot decks, to know when to grab for what kind and what type works for what situation best, like that's what I really want to hone in on and work with when it comes to my work with tarot. So love it. But anyway, a deck like this is invaluable at just being great all the time. So it's pretty fantastic. Another one that's quite similar to that actually these next two are basically just what we would call clones, but pretty. I've been also enjoying this one. This is the Universal Fantasy Tarot, another delicious Lo Scarabeo tuck box deck. This is by Paolo Martinello. Again, I should really work on my Italian. It's beautiful. It's fun, it's easy. It's the Rider-Waite-Smith with a beautiful fantasy theme. This card in particular gives me Fantasia vibes, which is my favorite movie of all time, if you're ever doing trivia and need to know. It's just stunning. Like Night on Bald Mountain, anybody? So good. But yeah, this deck it's a fantasy romp. It's exciting, action-packed, but it does lend really well to your, you know, tarot meetings and messages. It feels epic, feels adventurous. This is a very fire deck. If it were given an element, it would be fire. If I were to give an element to, where'd it go? To the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot, I would give it, oh, would it be water? Or pentacles? I think, yeah, no, this was a cups deck, 100%. Yeah, that feels right. That's a cups deck. This is a fire deck. So good. Incredible. I do have a pentacles deck coming up. Maybe that's what we'll do from now on. I'll just give each of my deck an element for fun. Like, I know the tarot decks, they encompass each of the elements within them, but sometimes they just exude a specific one. They're like, no, I am fire through and through. So anyway, that's what this one is. It's pretty incredible. And I've just been obsessed, using it a lot. Also, here's the backs. They're pretty awesome. It's the wheel card, just kind of in 4, but looks awesome. So that is the Universal Fantasy Tarot. This one isn't actually that old. I think it came out in 2021, so haven't seen it around too much, but it's a winner. Okay, so the next deck is a tarot deck that I never thought I would own. I have been shitting on this deck for years in private to people. I'm like, why? Why do people like this so much? Why is this around everywhere? It's stupid, I hate it. I don't like animal decks, etc, etc, etc. I never thought I would say this about this deck, but I can't stop using it. What's the matter with me? Oh my gosh. It even has its very own double terminated quartz that lives on top of it. That's how special it is. Can you believe? Okay. So I need to explain myself a bit here. The Wild Unknown. I think this is a case of also it's too popular, I don't want it, which happens to me sometimes. I get a bit pretentious in that regard, which is something I'm working on. Because, you know, I should know that if it is a tarot deck, it is by default cool. If it has 78 cards, 4 suits and a major arcana, it is automatically cool. Inherently. Because it's tarot and I love tarot. So I should know better. But for the longest time I was like, no, these cards don't make any sense. And I think, and it's what I said in my Only 10 Mass Market Decks video about the Archetypes deck. It looks so different on screen, but then when you use it, when you get it in your hands and actually use it in a reading, it's like, oh. So I will say this right now. This is not an animal deck. Don't ever call it an animal deck. It is not an animal deck. This is a pip deck that happens to have animals on it. And if you said that to me before, I probably would have been a bit more open to it. It's like the Crow Tarot by MJ Kulanite. Same premise. It's a pip deck. Happens to have crows on it. I do not get the animal energy of this. The energy that I get from this comes from everything else on the cards, which is fantastic. And if I were to give an element to this deck, I would, this is a fire deck also. Pure fire. Essential fire. You know? And yeah. Let's show you some cards. Because like you've never seen this deck before. This is my 7 of Wands. Yes, it's good. Okay. Need to think of some more clever things to say about it. Do I struggle? I feel like I should struggle more with the courts even too, because they're so specifically, like each suit has its own animal as a court, but it's not just the animal symbolization. Why can't I say this word today? It's not just the animal symbolism itself that gives the card meaning. It's the way the animal is interacting and the atmosphere of the card that gives the meaning. It's not just like, boom, there's a bear. This means that. It's the scene and the setting where the meaning comes from, not just the fact that it's a bear, you know? Thank goodness. So yeah, again, this is a nice one that strips back tarot to the essence of it. And when it comes to actively doing a reading, when you plunk 9, 10, 12 cards on a table, it tells a story easily, simply, cohesively and energetically, and like, and you can feel it. I've been unable to put it down. I've been using it for 2 weeks now. When did I pick it up? I picked it up on Black Friday. Because out of curiosity, I'm like, I just need to see what the fuss is about. I've been really into the Archetypes deck for months now. The Alchemy deck I'm getting on with. Again, there's a couple of mistakes in it, but not mistakes, but just like little things. I keep finding like little things that are a bit off, but I think the intention was there. It just wasn't executed perfectly, which is fine. The world is imperfect. And perhaps in that it is imperfect makes it more special. Anyway, it's actually up on my main altar right now. It fits really nicely inside of my little Merkaba altar cloth. A little too perfectly, actually. It might stay there for longer, but yeah, it's, you know, it's its own thing, and we're getting to know each other, but yeah, so I thought with those two, I'm getting along with them. I need to see what the fuss is about this one. So here I am. Never thought in 100 years I would say this about this tarot deck, but the Kim Grant's Wild Unknown Tarot. It stole my heart, guys. It stole my heart. It's also really nice to shuffle, which you'll probably hear me talking about this later on. I'll probably, you know what, I need to stop talking about it. You're probably like, no, I'm sick of hearing about this deck. So, anywho, yeah, that's a part of my life now. Wow. Who would have thought? I formally apologize for talking shit about that deck in the past. I was uninitiated. I did not know of what I was speaking of. It's also surprisingly close to a black and white deck too. It's got that like mostly black and white about it. And I'm really having a black and white deck moment right now. Between that one, the other two Kim Krans decks, my Black Tarot, the Hermetic Tarot, which I still use. Like, it's out every day all the time. And this one, the Bianco Nero Tarot. Another beautiful talk box deck. I won't talk about this too much because I did talk about it in the Only 10 Decks video briefly, but it's so good. It's, again, just, maybe I'm having a black and white clone moment is what I'm having. And I've also, because I'm a monster and can't be stopped, I pre-ordered the Dark Side Tarot by Corrado Roy, who also did the Murder of Crows Tarot, which I also have and have been using. So yes, black and white decks. I don't like color. Avoiding yellow at all costs by specifically having black and white decks. Anyway, it's a joke. But yes, it's just emotive, it's striking, it's strong, it's clear, it's to the point. I'm into it. It's the RWS, but sexier. Works well, looks beautiful in the spread, and matches everything by virtue of being a black and white deck. So this one is fun. The backs look incredible. Enjoy thoroughly. So yeah, that is Bianco Nero Tarot by Marco Prieto. Yeah, I think I'm just, yeah, I'm in a place where I want to uncomplicate tarot for me. I just want to strip it down and just like, I'm getting to the point where I'm really enjoying the experience of using tarot, the meanings I get from using the cards, and what deck it is that I'm using. It doesn't really matter. Right now, I don't want to overly complicate my use with tarot. I just want a reading. I want to do a reading. I want the message. I want it to be clear. And these decks all are so good for that. All right, two more before my feet fall asleep. Also, you guys let me know if I or anything behind me catches on fire. I have some precariously placed candles back there. Ugh. And I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, ooh, with the Wild Unknown, this one, this deck goes so well with it, and this is one I've had for quite a while now, and I didn't click with it. I thought, oh, I was kind of putting it in its own little corner and not appreciating it for the other things that it could do. I didn't give it a proper chance, I guess. This is the Old Ways Magic Oracle, which is absolutely stunningly beautiful. by Naomi Cornuck. I keep saying Cormac by mistake, but it's Cornuck. And it's a smaller oracle, so it's only about 36 cards, which again I hesitate with usually just because I do like a big thick deck with more cards in it. So this deck is a very, very like Celtic pagan oracle. Very Wheel of the Year focus, very earthy. So this is an earth deck through and through. The backs with our little triple spiral on it, the Triskele, yeah, I believe that's how you say that one. Kind of a very ancient universal symbol of spirituality. Very beautiful, love to see it. It's also the little glyph of the she up at the top there. And I'm not sure what this might actually be her personal sigil on the bottom. Very cool. The keyword, it's very, again, an earthy oracle, very like pagan in nature, with like a Celtic slant to it. And I wasn't super, I'm not super familiar with like Celtic and Druidic practices myself. I need to spend some more time with it to get a better connection to it. A lot of the like Celtic and pagan decks that I'm familiar with, I don't get along with for weird reasons. They just don't jive for some strange reason. And like I'm like I should. I'm literally from there. Like my grandmother grew up in Scotland. So connected to the earth here, I just don't, there is a disconnect between me and that particular like spiritual tradition. So I just need to spend some more time working with that. But anyway, this deck jumped into my life because it visually goes really well with the Wild Unknown Tarot. And in that visual pairing, it kind of cracked open the meanings for me in a more traditional oracle sense. So I've been enjoying using it. And I find this one, the best way for me is not to have one every day. I need to sit with it longer than a day. The concepts on them, like we've got clarity here. This one is freedom. This is the wild mage. Oops. Gentle. So they're very, very broad concepts, right? So definitely don't use this alone. This needs tarot to back it up 100%. So like this is the focus. This is like the thing that kind of points in the right direction, and then tarot expands on that. And that's where the depth of meaning comes through in reading. So yeah, I found a way that I like to use it finally, and it makes me so happy because it is so beautiful. Incredible. But it's just a little too far removed from the mythology I'm used to, I think is the thing. So I'm in a place of learning right now. I'm not always in a place of learning, an eternal student, am I right? But it's just I'm in unfamiliar waters, you know? So I like this. This is probably my favorite card in the whole deck. So good. But yeah, you can feel all of the magic that's woven into these images. So I've been really enjoying using this with the yeah, no, they go. You get it, they go. So yeah, that's the Old Ways Magic Oracle by Naomi Cornuck. Reasonably priced as well. She did a great job. Production value feels great. They're nice linen cardstock, if you want to know. They're a bit bigger than average, big and long, but they make great altar cards. And I wouldn't want them any smaller because her art is so detailed. Like you can tell, they're like as big as my face. So yeah, a great deck, and one I've been thoroughly enjoying lately. Last deck to yammer on about, wax poetic about, is one that needs no introduction. Oh, this deck. I was pre-ordered for so long. Actually, I remember the first couple of drawings that Laura Zuspin put up on her Instagram saying that she was going to make an oracle deck, and I was like, take my money, take it right now, put my name on the top of that list. That deck needs to be in my life. I thoroughly enjoy her other deck. It even has this incredible box bag that it lives in from Miss Peggy. The Luminous Void Tarot is very, if I were to give this an element, I would almost give this like ether slash like the spirit element. Like this is so much more than, I think if I were to pick one of the main four, I would say water, but it's more than that. Yeah. It's just incredible. It's definitely tapping into something a bit higher. Her watercolors are just incredible. You know, this deck needs no introduction. It's a little bit tricky to shuffle, but that's part of its personality. So anyway, I'm enamored with this one. I like where it takes me. I think it's beautiful. And then she's making an oracle deck, and I'm like, okay, put me on the list. This is incredible. And then when I found out that it's an earth-based one, I was like, oh my gosh, so good. So it's the Cottage Oracle, an ecological spiritual guide and creative prompt deck. Beautiful. It's written by Ray Diamond, which is important because the book is thick. This book is incredible. This is a mass market deck. And it's, what is it? $24.95 US, $33.95 Canadian. That is unheard of for an oracle deck. They did such a good job pricing this. I feel this is indie deck quality. This is, the content in this is so much more than we could have ever hoped for. So good. Anywho, so yes, I'm seeing a couple of these watercolor paintings of oracles messages, and I'm just like, these are incredible. Like, they're giving me the brain tinglies in the best possible way. Odd that this one is right on the top because of my recent dental surgery nightmares. Anyway, but this one's In the Garden of Lost Teeth. You're gonna have a hard time seeing these because of the light, but that's, oh, isn't that so good? The Sentient Nest. Look at that. But they're just, like, take a second to read the prompts on them. You don't need to hear my stupid voice reading them, but they're everything. And I'll find you my favorite card in a second. Oh, these are the kind of oracle messages that are just like light my soul on fire. They give me something to really think about, my brain to chew on. But they also ground me happily on this planet and this life, living in this way. And it's just so good. I think it's a 52 card deck. And starting on the solstice, which is a Wednesday this year, the winter solstice, each card you can draw, like there's a yearly walk, a cycle that you can do with this deck, and spend time with each of these cards, one card a week for the whole year. And I'm so excited. We're going to do that next year too. So Marseille study, and then the walk with the Cottage Oracle, as well as doing my deck and walk. Then I'm maxed out with walks. No more walks. but yeah, like, I am so in love with this deck. It is beautiful. Okay, I'll find you my favorite card real quick. It's great. It's so, oh, there it is. Woo, I found it. It's so, it puts you in your body too. There's a reference to the human physical experience in it without it being a people-focused deck. So good. This is it. This is my favorite card in the whole deck. Take a second, soak it in, feel it. I love it so much. My feet are fish. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so a joy. If you're worried about the weird shape, the big circleness of it, it's actually really easy to shuffle. It's, you know, good and bendy. You can riffle shuffle it. No problem. You can even bridge it. So yeah, Laura did an incredible job with this deck. I am so happy to be able to use it. So that is once more the Cottage Oracle by Laura Zispin and Ray Diamond. Absolutely blown away. If you're at all into an earth-based practice, like to send your brain to weird places, you like to do path working, you like to do astral travel, you like to spend a lot of time with individual oracle cards, this is for you. I also didn't mention, but there's like 10 pages of text for each card. Like, this book is thick. Let's see, there is a quick little not really anecdote, but there's a bit at the beginning which kind of, it's almost like the beginning of the pathworking journey for you, right at the beginning. And then you've got keynotes about the card, the symbolism of the card, a little bit of guidance, your environment, cornerstones, ecological connection, creative prompts, how to implement it in practice, using it as an icon, as well as using it as a portal. It's all in here. And the nice part about that is you don't have to do each bit each time. You can pick and choose. You're like, okay, today I'm going to use this as an icon. I'm going to put it up on my altar. I'm going to use it as an altar card. We're going to work with this archetypal energy as like its own little individual form of deity. Beautiful. Love it. So good. Other times you're like, nope, today we're going to pathwork. We're using this as a portal. We are going to dive into this card. We're going to feel it in my body. We are going to experience it entirely cerebrally, and it's going to be wonderful. And then other days you're like, I just need an oracle message. I just need to, you know, what do I need to know right now? What do I need to know today? How, like, what information is going to be pertinent in my life right now? Pull a card. Bam! There you go. It's just so good. Oh, multi-purpose. So beautiful, so useful, and I'm on board. So, if you're even at all interested, I would highly recommend it. Top-notch quality. Amazing price point. If you at all think it's kind of neat, I promise you will love it. So yes, that is, yes, Cottage Oracle, Ray Diamond, Laura's Spin. And I think that's all of the rambling I'm going to do today about tarot and oracle texts. I could go on more, but I think this is a really nice, quick and concise like focus of what my last month really has even been. Like, these are what I've been using the last month. So I've been having a great time. It's been wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to like diving in and stripping down tarot to its bones and using it like that, as well as diving into like the depths with the help of oracle, and then streamlining with our focused tarot. Like, I'm really it's like this and then this. So yeah, like really into it. So yeah, that's what's been up with me lately, I guess. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me yammer on for who knows how long about stuff. But if you did make it to the end, just know that I appreciate it greatly. The deepest thanks with my whole heart. And I hope that you all have an absolutely fantastic holiday season. And remember, take time for yourself. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Everything is okay. It already is okay. You got this. It's fine. So, anywho, thanks so much for being here, and I will see all you fine people in my next video.